Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at the Earthrise Optimus Prime, particularly the Netflix version. And here he is, and I really like this guy. I love his truck mode. Obviously, you can see his legs. They don't really do anything. You know, see his feet, see his legs, but if you're complaining about his feet and legs, you've already lost with a Prime. Just no matter what, any masterpiece other than like MP44, you're gonna see his legs. So love all of the paint on the bumper, the silver stripe, the grill. Love the silver around the headlights and the transparent inserts in the headlights. I really like that. I don't think any mainline toy has ever done that. I think it's just been like Masterpiece and third party have just done stuff like that. You can correct me in the comments, but love the green of both this transparent plastic and the windshields. Love all the silver on the outline of the windshield. Obviously, there's our silver stripe again. More silver paint. These gas tanks. On this guy and the Laser Prime, since they share the leg design, I typically just leave those in. I don't even bother flipping out the gas tanks. Or diesel tanks, fuel tanks, whatever. I typically just don't flip them out. I just can't be asked to flip them out. Obviously, his wheels, his rims are picked out in nice silver. His gun is right here, and he just folds in half, similar to like a MP10. Peg right there. Obviously, the handle, no paint right there, but it's okay. And it is a little short, but it's okay. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Smokestacks are obviously done in silver with some 5mm pegs. I think they're 5mm. Yep. 5mm pegs, I don't know why, but probably just for the weaponizer gimmick or modulator gimmick. And they are short, but due to safety laws and everything, we all know this. All about symbol right there. And love the transparent piece, or I think this whole piece is transparent plastic and then paint matched to match up with the rest of the plastic, and they did a really nice job. Obviously, it's glossy, it doesn't match the matte plastic, but it's okay just to get that tiny bit of transparent plastic for the door, but you don't really see a door. Maybe that's a handle, but not really, or that's the handle. You don't really see the door, but or any steps going up, but it's okay. I don't really care. Just another bit of detail. Just looks really nice. Obviously, they're not pinned wheels, but they still roll really nicely for not being, well, these front ones are pinned, but these back ones are not. But yeah, let's get him into his robot mode. We'll start off with the toes of the feet, and we're all done. Now we'll come up here, and we'll just start undoing all of these panels. And this is something that I love and dislike. Well, the wheel ones I don't care about, but these panels that I'm flipping out right now, it's very, the way all this works, it's very ingenious, but just the fact that this is transparent plastic and then this is just regular plastic, doesn't matter if it's regular or transparent plastic, they're just very thin. They're just very thin, and I feel like they might break over time, but if you're careful, they're probably okay, in my opinion, but they just make me a little bit weary, especially with the QC issues that I've seen. I haven't seen a lot for this toy, but just the QC issues of the mold, especially during Earthrise, like 2020. Just unpeg that, and we'll just swing it out. And now we'll just swivel the arms out of the way like so, and bring the legs down just so he can stand them up and get a little bit more room to work. So now I'm going to open up the head like this. Just close this up while I'm at it. Swing the arms out. Open all of this up. And this is something you should watch out for. Is mine is super stretched on this waist filler. This one is fine, but the other one is completely stressed. I've only transformed this guy not very many times, but I would really recommend watching those because they are pinned. As you can see, they're pinned. I don't know why they were pinned. I think they should have been just like friction joints, but whatever. So now, these panels, you can just see how thin this one is. This one's a bit more reinforced, but you can just see how thin this is. I can definitely see how over time this could break down, or just one slight little tug could break it, but it's okay, at least for now. And just the way all this works is just, it's super cool. We'll swivel the waist around really quick. Just, it's very, very cool, and then it all tabs together. Then separate the legs. Now we'll come back here, and I think you can unclip this, but, oh, there it goes. I typically leave it on, just, I don't care if it gives a better silhouette and more waist swivel. If I really want more waist swivel, I'll just do that and not have to parts form him if I want to transform him ever again. And it's just another piece you have to lose if you leave it off, in my personal opinion. Now, just his hands, you just flip out like that, and there he is. For a fairly complex transformation, it's not too in-depth. It's fairly self-explanatory. There are some concerns, especially like these windshields, and we'll just show off the Matrix while we're at it. I've seen these break on the Earthrise version, but just like these hinges, those small little panels that got all folded up when we did his chest, and then these waist fillers, I would watch out for those, and maybe these panels, they're pretty thin too. Watch out for those for breakages, especially if you're getting a used copy, but it's still a really nice, really good transformation, especially for being a Voyager, basically, or a Voyager with a leader class budget. So now, here is his Matrix, and I'm going to go on a rant, or not a rant, but a little bit of a ramble about the Matrix. I'm not a fan of the Matrix in general, not lore-wise, but just incorporating it into the toys. Is that this is the one thing that I truly care about when it comes to scale, is that the Matrix will never scale, especially if it has to fit inside of Prime's chest, or, you know, Ultra Magnus's chest, Rodimus's chest, you know, whoever's chest, whether it's, you know, one of the 13 Primes or whoever. Whoever they want to put whoever they want to put the Matrix in, it's not going to scale with them. It's going to be too small to physically fit in their chest, and then for them to be able to hold it. This is where I think scale is dumb. Like, I want it to scale. I want him to be able to hold it. I don't care if it fits in his chest. I want him to be able to hold it. You know, the only toy that's have successfully pulled off the Matrix, and barely successfully, in my personal opinion, was Masterpiece Ultra Magnus, where he had the sculpted hands to where it just slots into his hands for him to hold it above his head when he's being blown apart. That is the only toy, in my personal opinion, that has come close to having the Matrix scale better with him. But other than that, I don't like the Matrix. I think they should either have a scale one to go with it, and it just goes with the rest of the accessories, or just to stop including it. It's just one of these things. It doesn't make any sense, and I don't like nitpicking about it, but it's just something that just gets under my skin. It's like a pet peeve, sort of, that just lives with me. Just that I'm very positive about a lot of things. I don't nitpick. I hate it when people nitpick, like about, oh, this arm panel does not have enough paint. Oh, this leg does not have enough range, or oh, he's not animation accurate, or he's not movie accurate, or doesn't have enough detailing in this 1 square millimeter. I hate it when people nitpick, but the Matrix not scaling, or even him not scaling, oh, he doesn't scale with Bumblebee, or he doesn't scale with this or that. Go die. I don't mean that, but it just frustrates me. It's a toy. It's stupid. It just frustrates me that when people nitpick, but now I'm the person that's nitpicking about something that truly does not matter. One of the matters in the universe and the lore that has been the most explored, the most whatever. It just frustrates me that the Matrix just cannot scale, and that's the one thing that I think should be scaling with anything. I don't care about scale, but the Matrix should scale. Whatever. I'm the nitpicker. I should just, go jump off a cliff or something because I hate people who nitpick, or just stop caring. I think that's what I'll just probably do, because Hasbro and Takara going to keep doing this, so I'm just going to stop complaining about it and stop caring. That's what I'll do instead of jumping off a cliff. But whatever. Bring his gun back in. We can obviously, oops, dang it, dropped it on the ground. We can obviously put it on his back with this side post. Just put it on his back to store it. We can, obviously, with our weaponizer gimmick, we can put it on his shoulder like that. That would be kind of awesome. It's like a Megatron fusion cannon. You could paint his arm gray and then put this on there like on the Skybound comic. Or you could just do this peg like that. And of course, like always, you can just put it in his hand. And he does have articulated fingers like G-Axis, and I think maybe another, I don't know another Voyager that has articulated fingers, but I know G-Axis does. And he just looks amazing. Obviously, his proportions aren't great. The gun's small. The arm, especially when it's bent, is a little, shows how short it is, and he's got a lot of leg. But I do really like him. He just looks really nice. And over the time that I've had this guy, you know, the complexity, the thin plastic in some areas, the chest not being completely flush or being completely flush, his sort of odd proportions used to make me not really love this toy, but, you know, because I've owned him, because I've sort of grown out of that, stopped caring like I show with the Matrix, I've just, you know, like, I like him. You know, he's a really nice toy. He's really good. And the reason why I say tragedy in the thumbnail is that he kind of is, in my personal opinion. You know, you had, after this guy's release, you had great toys like the VNR Optimus Prime and all of his molds, the Laser Prime and all of his molds, and now the new 86 Prime, and probably all the molds that are going to come out of that, all the remolds that are going to come from that. Just a toy that went from being on top of the world to now not being talked about any, other than comparing him to his better brother. You know, just, I was sick of seeing him everywhere, but just that he went from, you know, the highest of highs in the franchise and in the fandom to potentially the lowest of lows, not really being talked about anymore, and then being sold off. You know, that's just the regular old thing. But just for how praised this toy was, now he's like, oh, he's good. But I don't think people are saying that he's bad, but just that he's being replaced. And I do think that kind of sucks. You know, I think Classics Voyager Prime, you know, he stuck around for a long time as people's definitive Prime because there was no other Prime to be around until, you know, this guy, this guy and Siege or the Combiner Wars one. There was no, and the Prime Wars Primes, there's like 5 of them, but there was no definitive Prime until this guy came along and dethroned that toy, because that toy is really good. I really like it. But just the fact that, you know, that toy got its day in the sun for, you know, a decade. And this guy, you know, obviously 4 or 3 years is, you know, close to a decade. But, you know, just that he was just quickly tossed to the side, and they didn't really wait too long, in my personal opinion, to release an 86 Prime, especially at a Commander price point. You know, they're just like, I thought it was kind of a cop-out. Like, you just made a very great and awesome Prime, and then they released that 40th anniversary one with the, I think, Jazz, and then Teletran 1. Like, literally the same, like, 3 months time length between the reveal or pre-order or whatever of 86 Prime. Like, what? Come on. Like, you're trying to bring him back, but you're also trying to bring in his newer, better brother. I think it's just a little tragic, even though, you know, he might kind of deserve it for taking over the world. But that's just my thoughts. But I really like this guy. You know, his articulation is very nice. Like, he pulls off everything you would want to do in a Prime. Maybe this waist piece, this back skirt, not back skirt, but this flap back here does hinder his waist articulation a little bit, but I don't really mind. He's just capable of doing a lot of things, and the fact that a lot of people are going to end up selling this guy off, because of the new 86 Prime, you could probably get this guy for a pretty good deal, and I definitely think so. If you can get him for a good price, especially anywhere for like $20, $20, $30, he's still an amazing toy, especially comparing the fact that this toy was built with a Voyager, or he was built with a leader budget, but he is a Voyager scale. And if you had the Earthrise or the Kingdom one, you would get the trailer and not the two mini-cons. But, you got yourself a very amazing Prime, for like $30 less than the $40 less than the new one. Not saying the new one's bad, but just that this toy for its time and even now is still phenomenal, and I just love it. I've warmed up to this toy a whole lot more than I did back when I originally got him. I was like, he's a good toy. He's he's a little complex. Whatever. Just put him on the shelf. But now, after thinking about it, just messing with it, he is a really nice toy. I've always known that he is a really nice toy, but maybe it's the hype of everyone loving him and me just being like, whatever. Just me being me back then, or just salty or whatever. I've just warmed up to it, and I just really like it. And I think he should still be used as, for remold potential. Even though they've basically done all of them at this point, but I still think he's a really nice mold that should still be used for different versions or different things, because he truly is a really, really nice toy, in my personal opinion. He's just really good, really cool, really recommend him, especially the fact that you might be able to get him for cheap now. He wasn't too expensive back then, but you could get him for even less now. But yeah, that's what I think about this guy. Just a little bit tragic, but still will always be on top. He kind of reminds me of the MP10 of the mainline toys. He's not perfect, especially proportionately, and he was on top for quite a little while. MP10 was on top forever, but everyone thought you couldn't top this. But then MP44. Magic Square Light of Peace, all these other third-party and Masterpiece Primes came out and just completely dethroned him and showed that, no, MP10 is not the best we can do. But, kind of the same thing, in my personal opinion. But, once again, just like MP10, I still really like him. I'll still take this guy. Maybe not over the SS86 one, I just don't know. I don't own it, so I can't say. But, overall, I really like this guy. Really recommend him. Still, after 3 to 4 years. So, that's what I would say. So, until next time, see ya.